Hello friends, good morning all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, all right. So a slight change is there in timetable. You'll come to know the CS lecture today. It was 3 to 4, but it will be conducted 11 to 12, and the lecture which was right now, it will be conducted at 3 to 4. Okay, so let's begin. I think that last time we people were just discussing why we people have to learn this communication skills that I have told you people. So there can be number of reasons, or 5 to 6 reasons that we people would like to just know. If you're clear with the purpose why you want to learn communication skills, then only you people can go in it. Okay, so let's go for it. So someone just reply me if voice is clear to you as well as the screen is visible. Are you able to see communication skills, teaching scheme, exam scheme? Next slide, are you able to see what is ISC, what is ICA?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so I have to share the screen once again. So I'll stop sharing this and I'll share it again. I hope that now it is visible, and just check if next slide is visible. Course objectives. Is it visible? Course objectives now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine. All right. So you know that last time we people were talking this one only. So why we want to learn communication skills? Here we have got these 6 reasons. That first, we wanted to understand English grammar and its application in communication. Second reason, to develop writing skills among the students. So you should be able to write also. So that is also one reason. Then next number 3, why we want to learn communication skills? To develop and enhance oral communication skills. Oral communication skills, that is also important part of our life, professional life. So all of you just imagine that if you start working somewhere. Okay, fine. Thank you, Tanaji, replying. Everything is fine. Just pay attention now. All of you pay attention. So oral communication is part of our life. So we all have to improve our oral communication, that we need to learn something to speak. So to begin with, you people can begin, hi, hello, how are you, where are you? So I think that I have told it in previous 2 or 3 sessions that we people have done. I have told its importance, and I hope that you people are about to start. So have you started practicing a little bit English? Let me know how many of you is doing it. Anybody? Simple question is that, have you people started speaking English? And speaking, it means that simply that you are just using hi, hello, how are you, or something like this. So now you may ask, sir, we are not still familiar with each other, or to with whom we people should speak. But if you have any friend who is acquainted from your class, you can speak with him or her, or you can also just try to make friends who can be your senior, second year, third year, final year students also. If no one is there, you can just talk to yourself. Remember, if no one is there, you are not familiar with anybody in your class, that's okay. You can talk to yourself. So you can choose a place where you are alone, and with this, you people just start speaking. Imagine one friend is in front of you and you're talking with him. You can use both dialogues, that's fine. So you're saying hi, your friend is saying to hi, so you're asking him, how are you? You're replying on behalf of your friend, you're replying, yes, I am fine, how are you? Again, on your part, you're answering and you're taking that practice will also help you to begin with. Okay, if you are not comfortable with someone, or if you are not having familiar, or you don't have friend right now from your class, in that case, you people can just follow this practice. That's nice to watch movies and by making foreign friends on Telegram, that will be okay, Tanaji. But important is that we have to develop our oral communication. When you watch movies, there you do not have scope for your oral communication. Okay, so by watching movies, you can understand your listening and your understanding skill may be developed, but speaking will not be developed. And if you're making foreign friends, be careful about it, so you will not be a kind of victim of just any fraud, any scam, any financial or money transactions are not involved. In that case, you just try to but don't chat with them. If you're having foreign friends, don't chat with them direct. You just have calls and you try to speak with them, because we are just working here on what we would like to work on our oral communication. Everybody try to understand. If you want to develop your oral communication, it is you people have to speak only. Then only your oral communication will be improved. By reading, by writing, by listening, you'll develop your English skills. All other skills will be developed, but your speaking will not be there. Yes, voice chat will be okay. You can use voice chat. Okay, so that is one reason that we would like to learn it. Next is here people would like to go for reading comprehension. I have told you that reading comprehension is also important part of our life, that you people have to understand. You people are going to get number of such documents. It can be email, it can be any document, or it can be any other content that you people are receiving, and you people have to read it and understand it. So therefore, it is not only one unseen passage that you people used to consider when you people were in 10th standard or 12th standard. It was just a passage for all of you. But right now, don't consider it just a passage, but it can be, let's say, content that you people are going to get at workplace, that you people have to read carefully, that you people have to understand, and then any proceedings, any work, any action, any instructions that you people have to give to other people, that will be based on your reading. So reading and understanding is also important here. Number 5, for professional written communication, I have told you people, once you complete your graduation or when you people are looking for a job, first thing that you should have with you, that is resume. Last time we people have discussed, this is your information about your qualification, your hobbies, your interests, your project, and so many points will be there in resume. So resume is also professional written communication. Job application letter, that is also professional written communication. And once you got a job, once you started working, in that case, you people can just go for a number of documents like notice, memo, agenda, minutes of meeting, then maybe email writing is also part of your professional written communication. So these are the things that we people have to look for to be professional. And last part, I have told you, many of us, we people wish to go for competitive exams also. And for that, one topic or one aspect in competitive exam is of verbal ability questions. So what are those verbal ability questions? Verbal ability questions are based on your grammar, like use of articles and the. It can be use of preposition, conjunction, interjection. It can be synonyms, antonyms. It can be one word substitution. It can be anything that you people have to answer the question. And even in placement activities also, if you're having your aptitude test, in aptitude test also people are getting questions based on verbal ability. So these were the some of the reasons that you people have to be clear. So are you clear why you want to learn communication skills? These are course objectives. Okay, for everybody, other people also, it should not be for one or two. So let me ask Shraddha Magar, is it clear? काय कळत नसेल तर विचारायचं, मराठीतनं विचारलं तरी चालतं.
Clear, sir.
All right, everyone, I feel you are clear. If not, you just raise your hand, ask me questions. I will be happy to answer your questions. And if you have doubts, I will be happy to solve your doubts. You can use chat box also. You can send me something in chat box as well. So if these are the reasons, you'll come to know if you completed your learning communication skills. Let's imagine that you completed your semester. Okay, so if you completed your semester, then there will be outcome. Okay, if you completed the semester, then there will be outcome. And when you studied communication skills, then what you should be able to do? What you should be able to do? So objectives and outcomes, that difference you people have to understand, and that difference is like this. So objectives are before learning. Right now we are before learning, so we people just looked off the objectives. These outcomes are after you completed your same first, and then you should be able to check yourself with these reasons whether your same points what we people just discussed in previous slide, same points are here, but now they are outcomes. Earlier they were objectives. म्हणजे शिकायच्या अगोदर आपण काहीतरी साध्य करायचं, आपल्या डोळ्यासमोर उद्देश ठेवले आणि शिकल्यानंतर ते उद्देश साध्य झाले किंवा नाही हे आपण या आउटकमच्या माध्यमातून बघणार आहोत. सो आउटकम्स आर लाईक दिस: फ्रेम ग्रामॅटिकली करेक्ट सेंटेन्सेस फॉर डे टू डे कम्युनिकेशन. म्हणजे तुम्ही कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स शिकल्यानंतर तुम्ही काय करू शकणार आहात? यू आर एबल टू फ्रेम ग्रामॅटिकली करेक्ट सेंटेन्सेस. For what? For day-to-day communication, for saying hi, hello, how are you, where are you, what are you doing, how is your study going on, number of things there. So that is for day-to-day communication that you will be able to do. Next, काय करू शकाल अजून तुम्ही? Use numerous appropriate words and sentences in written communication. Important is that your vocabulary. So you people have to develop your vocabulary, appropriate vocabulary, words and sentences for your writing. That writing is not professional writing. Okay. Then next, number 3, what you will be able to do? काय करू शकाल तुम्ही? Demonstrate effective oral communication skills in various situations. So you people would have developed your oral communication, and that is again effective. Effective means that you are not having difficulties with it, and that is again various situations. So what are various situations? Various situations are like this: you are at college. Okay, so you wanted to ask, or you wanted to submit your assignments. So you are asking information, or you are at office, you wanted to pay your fees. You are in let's say in campus, you wanted to ask, you are in the library. So these are various situations. So that various situations you people are able to communicate in English. Next, number 4, what you will be able to do after learning communication skills? Read, comprehend and answer the questions based on a passage. So based on unit number 4, reading comprehension. Okay, so you have to read the passage given, you have to understand, and comprehend means understand, and answer the questions which are asked based on that passage. So that is number 4. Number 5, draft letters, emails, write paragraphs and essays with appropriate content and context. So this is about written communication. So what will come in formal written communication? Various kinds of letters. In your 10th standard English or 12th standard English, you people might have written some letters, formal letters. So here also you people are going to come across with some letters, but these will be business letters, and we'll talk later on what kind of letters we people are going to do with this. Next is email. So henceforth email is going to be part of your life. Everywhere communication will take place with the help of email only. At workplace also, every time whatever the information that is exchanged, it is through emails. You can get attached a number of files that can be JPG images, words, excels, ppts, etc., and number of things will be through the email. So we should be very clear with email writing, how to write an email, how to get the email, and what should be done if you want to write an email. Next, paragraph writing. You'll be getting some topics, and on that topics you people have to write paragraphs. Paragraphs can be from let's say 20 to 25 lines, depending on 15 lines, 20 lines, something like this. Essays also. So essays and paragraphs, you'll come to know paragraphs are short, essays are longer, and that is also using appropriate content and context. Last, solve verbal ability questions. I have told you that this is related to questions which are asked in mostly in competitive exams. All types of competitive exams will be here, like from GATE exam is there, MPSC, UPSC, or maybe railway, bank, and all other exams will come here under this verbal ability questions, which are based on verbal ability. Verbal ability means that words are used like synonyms, antonyms, preposition, conjunction, and all those things. Okay, so that was all things about your course objectives and outcomes. Objectives and outcomes are similar. Objectives are in the beginning, outcomes are after completing the course. Let's go to the next slide and try to begin with our actual syllabus for this semester. So I hope that all you people are with a pen and paper. Are you with a pen and paper? Have you made a notebook, separate notebook for communication skills?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ensure that all of you have made it, because at any time I may ask you to open your camera and show me your notebook. Okay, and whether you have written or not. So nobody just try to lie me. Don't tell me that I have made and you have not made at all. It should not happen. So once again, in this time, I will not ask anybody to show me your notebook, but maybe from next lecture, I can ask anybody that show me your notebook by starting your camera. Okay, so ensure that you are not going to lie me. So for communication skills, we have total 5 units. How many units? 5 units. So out of that first unit, this first unit is of English grammar. And see, you people have learned English grammar for a number of times. It is not first time I'm going to teach you English grammar. Okay, you have learned it number of times. Maybe from your, if you remember, probably from 8th standard, you might have started learning English grammar. Okay, so in English grammar or 1.1, we people are going to talk about, first of all, articles. So in English language, how many articles are there? Who will tell me? Yes, 3 articles are there. 3 articles are there. Okay. Important is that you should learn how to use them. So which are 3 articles?
And the.
A and the.
Oh, and the. Okay, but many of the times we people have confusion when to use o, when to use and the. So that people will be clear with the some rules that we people will see, some practice also we people will do based on articles. Okay, then next part that we people will be going to learn, that will be about nouns. See, there is nothing more to learn about nouns. All you people have studied it already, but let's see, we'll revise it. There is pronouns also, verbs. In verbs, you'll come to know 2-3 kinds of categories we people are going to do in verbs. So those verbs are getting divided into main verb and auxiliary verb. Okay, main verb and auxiliary verb. So main verb, 3 forms of verbs like play, played, played, that we people will see. And again, transitive verb, intransitive verb, that we people will do. Then next we will talk about another classification, that is auxiliary verbs. Again, auxiliary verbs are divided into 2 parts, that is modal auxiliary verbs and another primary auxiliary verbs. So modal auxiliary is what comes in modal auxiliary and what comes in primary auxiliary, that we people will see here. The next very important is tenses. If you clear with all these parts of speech, so together that noun, pronoun and all those things will be here, that will consider them as parts of speech. So 8 parts of speech, we have to be very clear with it. And I was talking about tenses. If you wanted to use language, if you wanted to speak English, you have to be clear with tenses. So major, we all people know 3 types of tense. And again, these 3 tenses, they get divided into how many types? 4 types. So again, you people have to be clear with all those 12 types of tenses very well, and start using those sentences also. So start writing also how people can use present, past, future, and their subtypes, that we people will be looking in upcoming lectures. So all you people just can go through right now. If you're just noting it down, just write down articles, nouns, pronouns. Unit number 1, English grammar 1.1, articles, noun, pronouns, verbs, modal verbs, auxiliary verbs, tenses, etc. But as a part of study, you start exploring more about articles. You start finding more information about articles, because right now you should not just rely or depend upon me that I'm going to teach start articles. I'm going to teach that there are 3 articles in English, and then you are noting it down. I'm telling you, oh, and there are 2 types of articles, definite article, indefinite article. Don't wait. Why to wait? You can go on your own, start searching more information about, of course I will be there. It does not mean that I'm not going to teach you, but if you're prepared already, if you're searching information about articles while teaching, it will become very simple for all of us. And if you have not read anything about articles, you'll find that yes, articles are very tough, very difficult. But if you have searched some information, you'll find that it is very interesting, it is very simple, and I can use articles. So don't waste your time doing other things, but start information about these things. Then let's talk about nouns. So find some information. What is noun? What are types of noun? What are functions of noun? So different information you people can find it out in advance. Before I teach, you can find information about these things. Same with everything. Whatever the content I'm going to give you right now, you are going to search the information, because once we start teaching, you should be ready with these things, because we are not spending much time in explaining each and everything in deep. Okay, see, hardly we will get 10 to 15 lectures for CS, and within that 15 lectures we have to complete all 5 units. So therefore you people just become self learners as well. Additionally, ask questions also. When you are already prepared, I think that you might have some questions, and those questions can be discussed during teaching. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? One
Yes,
point.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you
Yes.
noted it? Have you noted it down?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If not, you can take screenshot, but don't just keep screenshot only saved. You have to take it on your notebook. If you have not written, you can take screenshot, but you have to write it on in a notebook. All right. So now we are going to move towards the next slide, which will be now 1.2. Okay. So here in 1.2, people will talk about now remaining parts of speech, that is adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. Okay. So very important, when you people are going to use English, what are the words and sentences that you people are going to use? That will be from 8 parts of speech. Right now I'm speaking with you people, I'm using words. Okay, so those words are from which category? Those 8 types. Either they are noun, pronoun, they can be verb, they can be adjectives, they can be prepositions, conjunctions, or adverbs, whatever, depending upon the my need. I'm choosing any of the words and I'm using them. Okay, so therefore if you clear with all parts of speech, it will become easier for you people also to use them. So only practice remains, that practice can be done. And again, remember, we should not focus all those things only theoretically. I don't want to teach you people theoretically all these things. I just wanted to make you people that if you are clear with what is adjective, you should start using adjectives in your communication. For example, if I asked you, you people have to tell me more information about your village. Okay, so we'll take one example like your village. So people have to tell me which are the words that you people can use when you wanted to talk more about your village as an adjective. Can you tell me a few words? Yes, Nanishwar.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful village. Can you call big village? Can you call small village?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can call. Then we can talk about the village, maybe religious. Yes, from Gauri it is clean village. Yes, exactly. Don't think of only positive connotations also. So as Gauri told me clean village, can there be dirty village? Dirty village can be also. So that also can be. So I just use big, small, clean, dirty like this. So what are all these words? Sourceful, okay, sourceful village. Yes, that also can be. So these are all adjectives, and we are using those adjectives for what? We're using it to talk more about village. Yes, from Nilesh it is happy village also. Yes, happy village also. Okay, you can use number of words, either cooperative, or maybe you just try to find it out more. So these adjectives will help me. Suppose that I want to speak today about my own village. So if I know number of adjectives, I can use my village is beautiful. I got one sentence. My village is big village, or something like this. My village is small village. My village is religious. It is clean. It is dirty. It is happy. It is sourceful. Something like this, you people can use it. So start working on adjectives. If you're clear with, yes, prosperous, from Gauri again, we have prosperous village. Yes, very nice. Okay, such kind of responses are welcome. All you people note that you have to speak. Whenever there is a question, you try to participate. Say something. Maybe it may be wrong. It is not expected that you have to always write, but all you people have to speak. If you people are not speaking, in that case, it is going to become a kind of monotonous lecture, boring lecture for all of you. So don't be just connect passively here. Okay, be active. If you're not understanding, you have every right to ask, sir, you're teaching it, but we are not understanding, or I do not understand. In that case, we'll revise, explain, come down, simplify. We can do number of things. But if you're not saying anything and you're going in your own way, just connecting and listening only and not understanding, you're making your own loss. So I tell you, all you people, don't make your own loss by just listening. If you do not understand, try to raise question, raise hand, say something in chat box as well. Same case, now come to the point, same case with here adverbs also. If you are going to understand what are adverbs, how to use those adverbs, what are prepositions, how to use them, how to be meaningful with the help of prepositions, what are conjunctions, how we can connect the sentences by using conjunctions. So these will be the some parts that you people have to consider when you people are going to learn all this unit number 1, which is English grammar. All right, have you noted it down? 1.2, adjectives, adverbs, preposition, conjunctions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. So now we'll go to the next slide. Now here you have the same unit number 1, and now here you people are having 1.3, and that is now different. You people have to be careful, because already whatever I just told, it was already people have studied. But in 1.3, again, you people have 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. So first part is idioms and phrases. So what are these idioms and phrases? In your mother tongue, you have mani ani vakya prachar. Same in English also, there are idioms and phrases. So for example, if you have heard about a stitch in time saves 9. What does it mean? Hey, ऐकले का? A
Yes,
stitch,
sir.
a stitch in time saves 9. What is meaning of it? This is idiom in English. A stitch in time saves 9. You can tell me in Marathi. मराठीतून अर्थ सांगितलं तरी चालेल.
वेळेत घेतलेला 1 टाका पुढचे 9 टाके वाचवतो, किंवा वेळेत if we had done some mistake, then correcting that mistake on time will save our many steps for correction after
Yes.
a long time.
Yes, exactly, Tanushree. A stitch in time means there is some fault or there is some defect, there is some problem. You have to do correct in time. If you are not paying attention to that problem, that issue, later on it will become a big issue and you can't help that time. So therefore, एखादी छोटी गोष्ट असेल तर ती त्याच वेळेस पूर्ण केली पाहिजे. So therefore, you'll save a lot of loss in future like this. Or maybe a phrase like this at 11th hour. Have you heard about that 11th hour? Okay. If I say you people cannot get help at 11th hour. So 11th hour म्हणजे 11व्या तासाला का?
At last moment.
Yes, exactly. At last moment or suddenly. Right now something cannot happen. So 11th hour, it means that suppose that you wanted to go for picnic and suddenly you are asking some money to your father. So your father may say at 11th hour I don't have money. So at 11th hour means at this moment, at this last moment, I cannot do anything, something like this. So we'll come to know a stitch in time saves 9. This is an idiom. At 11th hour, this is phrase. So where you cannot go for word meaning, म्हणजे असं आपलं वर्ड मिनिंग वरती जाता येत नाही. 11th hour म्हणजे 11वा तास असा अर्थ घेता येत नाही. अ स्टिच इन टाइम सेव्स 9 म्हणजे एक टाका घातला की 9 जण वाचतात असा त्याचा अर्थ घेता येत नाही. So they have their own cultural meanings, and see that we people have to understand that this is an English language. So a little bit we are going to learn about that also here in idioms and phrases, and there are number of, here I just give 2 examples. While teaching, I will teach in detail and a lot of examples we people will discuss there. Okay, then we people will talk about cliches. So what is this cliches? Now I think that again this will be new word for you. So cliché means something, such kind of words or phrases. Usually it is phrase which is overused. Overused means it is used again and again. It is used or overused. And because of overuse, what happens? It loses its original meaning. So it is again and again used, it is overused, and because of overuse, it loses its original meaning and context. So that is called cliché. Maybe, for example, you'll come to know that these are the some phrases which are not required or not necessary. For example, I can give an example here. Or coach said, there is no I in the team. So here you'll come to know there is no I. So you'll come to know that meaning of this. There is no I in the team. This team is not performing well. When the team is not working well, if the team is not winning, किंवा मराठीमध्ये सांगायचं जर झालं तर त्याच्यामध्ये राम नाही असं म्हणते. कधी गोष्टीमध्ये आपण राम नाही असं म्हणतो. राम नाही म्हणजे त्याचा अर्थ काय घेतो आपण? That is not actually doing right or doing well. So some kind of expressions are called cliches, okay, in English. So we'll try to find out some examples, more examples when we will learn cliches. Then next we people are going to talk about redundancies. 1.3, it is about redundancy also. So now you'll come to know redundancy is also kind of use of words or phrases that you people have to understand, that unnecessary repetitions. In short, I will tell you what is redundancy. Unnecessary repetition. So how unnecessary repetition? It is not required, but still or unknowingly we people use these words. For example, plus addition. So these are 2 words which mean the same. Plus means addition, addition means plus. So therefore you people have to use 1 word only. Or if you are talking about past experience, so you'll come to know experience is always about past. It is not about present or future. Okay, so past experience means something happened in the past. Okay, only experience will convey that it happened in the past. So redundancies will be some of the repetitions which are not required, or the same thing is conveyed by using 2 words like this, plus, addition, or maybe there are a number of examples that I will tell you while teaching. So I hope that these 3 concepts are clear to you. Any questions, difficulties? Okay, so here we people have done with our unit number 1. So here we people have done with our unit number 1. So in that 1.1 grammar, 1.2 grammar, 1.3 it is about idioms, phrases, cliches, redundancies. Now we will move towards the next slide with unit number 2. Unit number 2, very simple. What is unit number 2? It is vocabulary. So what is vocabulary? Vocabulary is nothing but your collection of words. So it can be in different ways. But here in unit number 2, we are going to look at only 2 points. That first will be synonyms and antonyms. Again, this is very simple. Only people might be studying from your 5th standard. You may come across with synonyms and antonyms. So what are synonyms? Synonyms means same meaning words.
Samanarthi.
Yes, exactly, Shraddha. And antonyms means
Opposite words.
yes, opposite meaning words. For example, come, go, happy, sad, and number of. So you people will just go now with the difficulty, more difficulty level, because if it is like on, off, come, go, happy, sad, these are difficult level having simple. Now we will go to medium level, or maybe we'll increase the difficulty level with different words, list of words that you people will get with synonyms and antonyms, that you people have to read, understand, take the help of dictionary, and just try to develop all those things. That's all here in 2.1. There is not much difficulty, and not more time is also not required to teach synonyms and antonyms. Only list of words that people will just go through and try to find some information, additional information about vocabulary. Next is prefixes and suffixes. This is also very important, because when we people use any word, that time we people modify those words. Okay, so here I will give one example, that there are root words. Root words means they're main words. For example, here the word nation is one word. Okay, so in case of nation, you'll come to know, if you want to add these or we want to use different words. Nation is one word, but with the help of prefix. Prefix means something that you are going to add before the word, and suffix means that you are going to add at the end of the word. So that is prefix. This is suffix. Pre means before, suffix means at the end. So now we will just try to make different words with this using prefix. So if I use, can you tell me one word with nation with prefix? Prefix, suffix.
Unequal.
Unequal is there. Okay. Here we have prefix un, root word is equal. You have using your un. Okay. Or international, take it international. We'll come to our root word is nation here. So what is prefix here?
Inter.
Inter is, yes, prefix. And what is suffix here? AL is suffix here. So there are a number of, you'll come to know like TION. You'll find number of examples which are ending with TION. Okay. The words which are ending with ness, the words which are ending with maybe less. Okay. The words which are ending with ed, the words which are ending with ing. Similarly, for prefix also, people can get like an, in, okay, d, okay, multi. There are a number of them. We'll get the proper list and learning at the time of teaching. Okay, but you should understand multitasking. You people are getting what multitasking, decomposition, deforestation. Okay, yes, irresponsibility like this. Yes, Gauri. So these are the methods of making words, new words that people can make by using these prefixes and suffixes. So that is also simple. Okay, I hope that all you people find it very, very easy. Is it easy or difficult?
Easy.
It's quite easy. But here, don't focus on the theory part. We will learn it. Don't focus on theory part. What you should, your aim should be, use everything for what? Your oral communication. आपलं मेन टार्गेट काय करायचं आपल्याला सगळ्यांना, आपलं ओरल कम्युनिकेशन इम्प्रूव्ह करायचं. त्यामुळे लर्निंग सिनोनिम्स अँटोनिम्स ही काही अवघड गोष्ट असणार नाही. मे बी एका तासात म्हटलं तर सगळा सिलेबस सुद्धा शिकवता येईल मला एकाच तासामध्ये. ओके, बट वी विल नॉट डू इन दॅट वे, विल गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप. पण आपलं मेन एम आपल्याला काय ठेवायचंय, हे सगळ्या गोष्टी आहेत, याचा अभ्यास तर आपण करूच, पण ensure you are working for your oral communication. Anyway, whether you like it, whether you dislike it, we wanted to develop our communication skill, English communication, and we wanted to make it our strength. आज जे आपल्याला भीती वाटते, आज जे आपल्याला कळत नाहीये, that you people will just get converted it into strength. You can tell English communication is my strength. So that way we people have to work. You can do here number of activities. You can go for number of words. Try to use those words in your communication. For example, I just told you, somebody told me that unequal is the word that I'm making from using prefix. Start making sentence, start using that word in your oral communication. So that should be our priority. That should be our aim to use. Otherwise, learning just synonyms, antonyms, learning prefix, suffix. This is the study of 5th standard students, okay, for your information. So all of you just take note of it. So here we people have done with unit number 1. I hope that you noted it. So should we go to next slide with unit number 3?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So now you people can see unit number 3 is in front of you. This is oral communication. I just told you our main target. Why we people are going to learn grammar, why people are going to improve our vocabulary. The need is of oral communication, which we people are going to do here in this unit number 3. So here we people will go with situational conversation. So what is the situational conversation? Situational conversation will be, you people will be given one situation. So what kind of situation? For example, there are 2 students, okay, and they're going to discuss about timetable of final exam. Okay, so as usually you people come across, suppose that you were in 12th, okay, so when the timetable of exam is declared and you meet your friend, so what kind of conversation you do? So same kind of things here, you have to imagine this situation and you have to do communication in English. Here language is English, okay, so you can write down dialogues. First of all, you have to write it down. Write it down means, for example, you can take 2 characters, 2 names. Here I'm just letting A or B. You can use name Ganesh, Mahesh, Sonu, Manu, Chintu, Pintu, Soni, Moni, something like that. You people can use names and start. Try to understand the situation. If the exam, final exam is there, timetable is displayed. So what kind of context you people are getting? So it may be to begin with, they begin with greetings. Hi friend, how are you? Something like this. So now then somebody will ask, have you seen the timetable? So if the other person, if it is no, if he or she knows timetable, he'll say, yes, I have seen timetable. If that person does not know, he'll say, no, I haven't seen timetable. Can you tell me which is the first paper? Something like this. So first paper is of English. So what is the time? And have you completed your study? I have not completed my study. I am about to revise my some important topics. Number of things are there to discuss. Okay, so depending upon your imagination. So here, what is required here? What is important here? Your imagination power. So here no one is there. There is no 2 actual friends are there, but you're imagining the situation. I think that in the beginning I told you, if no one is there, you are developing your own situation. You are talking on behalf of your friend also. So imagine that you and your friend are there and you are getting the situation of final exam timetable. There can be a number of situations. Situation can be that between teacher and student, that you were absent yesterday and teacher was not allowing you to enter the class, and he's asking why you're absent, and you're telling that yesterday I went to one ceremony, there was function, you were ill, you went to the hospital, or there may be any kind of reason that you have. So this can be situation. Situation can be that you are in market, or the situation can be one is shopkeeper and one is customer. You want to buy something. Situation can be of a doctor and a patient. So patient has some illness and doctor is checking it. So situation can be of a passenger and a conductor in a bus. Situation can be anything. So such situational conversation that you people have to imagine and you have to develop. But this is, first of all, you have to write it, write dialogues, and then you have to play it. Take help of one of your friends, and with the help of friend, try to speak these situations. So that will help you to start your oral communication. So number of situations will be given to you to practice. You people are going to develop dialogues and you're going to speak it. Okay. Then next people will talk about here. This is impromptu speaking. So what is this impromptu speaking? It is also called as extempore speech. So what is extempore speech? No idea? Extempore speech. So usually when there is speech competition, what happens? You people get the topics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics are there. So you are choosing one topic out of 5. You are preparing your speech and then you are giving the speech. So that is normally you people have come across with the speech competition. But what if the topics were not given to you? You have to give the speech, but topics were not given to you in advance earlier. But topics are given at 11th hour. I have used it deliberately 11th hour. So what do you mean by topics are announced at 11th hour?
Topics are given on the spot.
Yes,
We have
exactly.
to think and then speak.
Yes, exactly. So impromptu speaking or extempore speech means you people will get the topics on the spot. You'll not get a chance to 1 day or 1 hour, 2 hour. So right now you will be called and here you people will be just announced that you have to speak on pollution, corruption, terrorism. Number of topics will be anything, but simple topics will be given to you. You may get 1 to 3 minutes to think, or maximum 5 minutes will be given to think about the topic. So here what is required? Your general understanding, your knowledge of current affairs, your reading matters a lot. If you read a lot, if you have knowledge about the topic, you will be able to speak. So such kind of extempore speeches will help to develop your oral communication. So that is the purpose. Okay. So I hope that you people will find it interesting. And with this, today now time is up. So we wanted to close your session. We'll take attendance here and we'll pause. Remaining 2 units, unit number 4, very simple, very short is that reading comprehension, and unit number 5, writing practices that we people will cover it next session. Meanwhile, just revise what we people had in the beginning. So when we began the lecture, we discussed about why we people have to learn communication skills. जे 5 युनिट आहेत त्या 5 युनिट नुसार 5 एम आहेत आपले, 5 ऑब्जेक्टिव्हज आहेत आपले. पहिल्यांदा आपण we wanted to use grammar perfectly. Secondly, we want to use words for writing skills. Number 3 आपल्याला ओरल कम्युनिकेशन इम्प्रूव्ह करायचे. नंबर 4 रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेन्शन वरती पॅसेज वरच्या क्वेश्चनचे आन्सर सांगायचे. नंबर 5 रायटिंग प्रोफेशनल रायटिंग कम्युनिकेशन करायचंय. आणि नंबर 6 रिजन होतं वर्बल ॲबिलिटी. कॉम्पिटिटिव्ह एक्झाम मध्ये आपल्याला वर्बल ॲबिलिटीची तयारी करायची आहे. त्यानंतर सिलेबस बघितलं आपण. सिलेबस मध्ये युनिट नंबर 1 बेसिक ग्रामर. बेसिक ग्रामर मध्ये इंग्लिश ग्रामर मध्ये आपण पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच सगळे टेन्सेस बघितले म्हणजे आपण बघणार आहोत. युनिट 2 मध्ये व्होकॅब्युलरी बघितलं. व्होकॅब्युलरी मध्ये अगेन सिनोनिम्स अँटोनिम्स प्रिफिक्स सफिक्स बघितलं. त्यानंतर ओरल कम्युनिकेशन युनिट नंबर 3 ओरल कम्युनिकेशन. ओरल कम्युनिकेशन मध्ये सिच्युएशनल कॉन्व्हर्सेशन आणि impromptu speaking किंवा extempore speech जे म्हणजे ऑन द स्पॉट टॉपिक्स यू पीपल विल गेट. एनी डिफिकल्टी? कुणाला काही कळालं नाही वगैरे काय अडचण वगैरे असेल तर सांग, विचारा. Meanwhile, Yash Kulkarni, rename yourself. Don't use bracket. You just B44. Don't give space after B also. So roll number, I'll take attendance. Roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 absent.
Sir, 44 present, sir.
So try to understand. I'm just telling you the way you people have renamed. Yes, you have renamed in a different way. All people have using B, then 2-digit roll number, and then space. So you are using bracket, then B, then space, then 44. So rename yourself better. So roll number 8 absent, 9, 10, 11, 12 absent. Then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 absent.
44 present, sir. I changed my name.
So then just be calm, wait for your number. I will just tell you. Okay.
Sir, 34 present, sir.
So I'm not asking you whether you people are present or absent. Just pay attention. At the end, I will announce absent numbers. If your number is there, in that case, you just tell me, sir, I'm present. Okay. So from participants, I'm taking note those who are present and those who are absent. So 18 absent, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 absent, then 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 absent, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47 absent, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59 absent, and 60. And additionally 62. What is last roll number? 60?
Hello, sir. 54 is present.
63, sir.
no problem.
Who is 63? Avishkar, you have 54. I am not said 54 is absent. Someone is
Sir,
saying
स्कॉलरशिपचा फॉर्म भरायला गेलतो त्या दिवशी आणि आज ते नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लेम असल्यामुळे ते हे होत आहे.
63 चं सांगताय का 54 चं?
54.
54 मी तुम्हाला absent म्हटलेलंच नाही ना. आता मध्ये तर कोणी 63 प्रेझेंट आहे म्हटलं होतं, ते 63 कोण आहे? (61) पासून सगळे पुढचे absent आहेत. काय 66 असतील किंवा 68. किती आहेत? हाऊ मेनी टोटल स्टुडंट्स आर देयर?
63.
63, sir.
63. So 61, 62, and 63 they are absent. So now pay attention. I will announce absent numbers. Roll number 8, 12, 18, 23, 32, 47, 58, 59, 61, 62, and 63. Is there anyone out of these absent numbers? Remaining all students are present. Okay. So with this note, we people will stop here. We'll meet in next session. So thank you for joining today, and do join for the next session also. So should I end this meeting for all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.